HBO's Last Week Tonight with John Oliver takes a satirical look at the news. Its fearless host tackles serious issues. 1 year in, the program enjoys a reputation for scathing wit.
Our main story tonight is income inequality. A good way to figure out which side of it you're on is whether you're currently paying for HBO or stealing it. We begin with ISIS, the Ebola of people. Japan. Earth's pervert uncle. Net neutrality. The only two words that promise more boredom in the English language are featuring Sting.
President Bashar al-Assad apparently has been ordering pop music off iTunes. His playlist includes Sexy and I Know It by LMFAO.
LMFAO? So we're dealing with someone with the political instincts of a young Joseph Stalin and the music tastes of a 14-year-old girl from Orange County named Tiffany. That song is so hot right now. The president of Ecuador has been stalking me on Twitter all week long.
I'm Ben Tracy in Washington State, where we're going to introduce you to a pretty sweet piece of technology known as the salmon cannon.
Let's see where this salmon ends up.
Of course, the situation in the Mideast only getting more complicated. The U.S. has been bombing for...
Some of the freshest water you'll probably ever taste because it dates back 400,000 years.
What are you doing? Tragically, the Antarctic ice shelf is rapidly diminishing. Now, if you'll excuse me... The death penalty is like the McRib. When you can't have it, it's so tantalising. But as soon as they bring it back, you think, this is ethically wrong.
My daddy's in jail right now for a low-level drug offense.
You see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Timmy. That's crazy.
Well, my daddy's in jail because he killed 4 people.
Yeah, well, okay, he's actually a dangerous individual who needs to be in jail, so that's not really the same thing.
No.
My daddy's in jail and people pay money to see him.
Yeah, that's actually a zoo. That's different.
John Oliver, welcome back.
That's a very silly combination of clips.
Yeah.
It's a very dumb show.
Doing very well.
So what is the intent of this dumb show?
Just to make people laugh. That's it. At the end of the week, we try and find things we're interested in and make people laugh. And if that involves puppets or a salmon cannon, then more the better.
Is this the most fun you've had in your life, in your comedic life?
Yeah, but I've not had a lot of fun in my life, Charlie. I'm from Britain. I was raised as a pickpocket.
So Nora wants to know why you didn't shave this morning.
Why I didn't... No, Nora doesn't want to know that. I heard you, Charlie. You wanted to know that, like my mum.
Like your mum.
Well, that's right. I honestly forgot. I forgot. Because I'm just going to normal work.
Yeah.
This is... I guess if I respected this workplace more, I would have shaved. But it seems like I'm sending a message.
But John, how are you able to find such comedy in such serious issues? Some of the bites you pick, the news looks so silly, but you have a way of really putting it all in perspective.
Well, it's not just me. I am the unfortunate face of a lot of people's work. So, yeah, we have an amazing staff of, writers and producers and Tim Carvell and Liz Stanton, who I run the show with. So, yeah, I just get the credit for a lot of people's work.
No, but Klaus, who's over there on the Steadicam, who never talks to anybody.
Yeah.
He came up to you and said, so when do you start writing for your show?
Yeah, Klaus was grilling me pretty hard. I was wondering if that's a new segment.
Dreams of his own show.
Well, he's an Emmy winner,
We have an Emmy Award-winning crew.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Well, Klaus is getting ideas above his station now. That Emmy was dangerous.
So take us through the Edward Snowden thing, which is a classic example.
Yeah. Well, take it through it.
Yeah, in other words, why Snowden? What did you want to accomplish?
Well,
is it something you want to do again?
Yeah, I'd love to go back again. It was such a pleasant experience. 48 panicked hours in Russia. Well, it was just, I wanted to, what he revealed is so incredibly interesting, and it's not been communicated very well. And so we wanted really to examine that. And so that's what we tried to do with him over a long interview.
But the interview was devastating. I mean, I know it was humorous, but it was devastating because it was incisive. I mean, it was more than just entertainment.
Well, yeah, I'm not really looking to devastate anyone, but yeah, it was. We came up with a very, very silly construct to communicate it, which I probably can't say at this point in the morning. It was about south of the man's waist area and what each program that the NSA has can do regarding photographs of said region.
I call that devastating.
Yes, it was pretty devastating on a moral level. No, it was. It was really.
What was he most disturbed about that you told him that you noticed he got? really
What was he
upset about?
disturbed about?
Upset with you.
Upset. He wasn't upset with us so much as he was. I think he's a computer expert, and computer experts, as you know from any IT guy in any office, are not great at interpersonal skills. So he knows he's not a great communicator.
There's not a high level of emotional intelligence.
No, that's right. But so the problem is they're very good at communicating with each other, but it's very frustrating when you're struggling to communicate with people who don't understand what you're saying. So we were trying to bridge that gap.
Can humor and satire make points that otherwise might not well be made and make them better?
I've no idea. I think, ideally, satire would not do anything better than anyone.
But was there anything that surprised you about Edward Snowden? Because most people have never talked to him. Many people haven't even heard him speak, but you're sitting there face-to-face, nose-to-nose with him.
Well, he's talked to a lot of people. I mean, he's done Reddit AMAs. You can't really be more available to the world than doing a Reddit AMA. So it was about as long way from exclusive as possible. But yeah,
But most people aren't face-to-face with him, John.
Sure,
That's what I mean. You went to Russia to see him.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
did.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. So it was.
Don't minimize what you did, John.
No, I did. I got on a flight for 10 hours. Well done, me. But you know, it was interesting to do it in a room because you can kind of examine it long form and try and help him communicate what are immensely complicated things.
Was he likable?
He was like, I mean, yeah, it was. We were really working, really. So it's not. We didn't get to hang out. We didn't go to Chipotle for multiple reasons. One being that if there is Chipotle there and it isn't, it would be sanctioned.
Or you might run into a presidential candidate.
Yes, of course, exactly. They'd love it.
So what is it about The Daily Show that has produced so many people now that have their own shows? You and Larry and
Jon
Steve.
Stewart. Yeah. It's a pretty easy answer. Jon Stewart is the greatest who's ever done this. In any look, as a comedian, I'm allergic to sincerity.
Why is it? No. But why is it? On a serious note,
because Jon. He's the best. He's the best
at what he does, but also the best at nurturing talents.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's an incredible comedian. He's an incredible writer. He's an incredible man manager. I owe him everything. I would not be in this country, let alone sitting here, if it wasn't for him. He taught me every important lesson that I use.
I asked someone the other night from HBO, by the way, Richard Plepler, why not John, you, 5 nights a week?
Because I don't know if the world wants that, Johnny. I think I'm better in small doses, as we're going to find out this morning.
1 night a week?
But do you want it? Would you like it? A daily show?
You couldn't do what we do on Sunday 5 times across the week. You just can't. We couldn't physically do that to our staff. It would decimate them.
Are you lazy people?
Yeah, we are innately lazy.
But they do it on the Daily Show, don't they?
They do. They do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, but it's a little different. Like what we do with the same kind of tools is a little different. So it's some slow cooking that we do.
Will you stay with us?
No. Yes, I will. Yes.
You have no choice, John Oliver.
Yeah. Somebody get the handcuffs. Next. Somebody get the handcuffs.
I'll be here.
All right.
Well, if you don't stay, Klaus.
Klaus is a big boy.
Okay, we'll have
big
more.
Muscles.
Just saying.
We'll have more with John Oliver. We're going to talk about Trevor Noah, more on Colbert, and the 2016 presidential race. But
we're back with John Oliver. Next month, he will collect a Peabody Award.
Yeah.
Go you.
Wow. I've managed to devalue the concept of the Peabody
for last week tonight. So how do you feel about this hit show and the fame that comes with that, John? Are you comfortable with the fame? Are you nervous about the fame?
I don't really go anywhere, so I'm not exposed to any hypothetical fame.
But you know what I mean when you're out and about. Certainly more people recognize you.
Yeah, I'm not really comfortable with it.
Why?
I'm not really, because I'm too British, Gail. I don't, you know, I'm not a big fan of myself, so I don't really understand why anyone else is.
No, you're doing something right. Is the show where you want it to be?
No, we're working hard to, you know, it's a learning curve. It's been 12 months this week, so we've been on for a year, and so there's a lot of stuff for us to improve upon and get better.
Jon Stewart, you mentioned your mentor is leaving. Trevor Noah is replacing him. He got in a bit of hot water. Fair, unfair?
Right off the bat, yeah.
Well, I think you just got to wait and see. Well, I think John said it best. He'll either earn everyone's trust or he won't. And it's just
should you be judged on past things that you did in the past years ago?
Well, it depends what they are. It depends what they are. If we're in a Floyd Mayweather situation, then arguably, yes, you should be judged on it.
Okay, but the tweet, they said inappropriate tweets and sexist tweets. Should you be judged by that as a comedian taking over?
It depends.
Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah.
It depends.
You thank me for that, John.
Thank you.
For the clarification,
It depends. It just depends on a case by case what they are. But I think you just have to wait. If there's trust to earn back, then he'll try and do that.
All right.
Now, what is your obsession with Charlie?
What I love about Charlie is, apart from the smell, which, as we all know, is intoxicating.
Yes.
What I love is... What? Say it, Charlie. Say it. You smell good. That's a compliment.
I do not smell good.
Rose,
I do not have a smell.
You do? Oh, Charlie. That's like me saying I don't have an accent.
I would love to know why
do.
you love me.
Because, Charlie, you light up every room that you're in. I'm happy to see you whenever I'm in a room. Whenever I've seen you, it's usually in a room that I'm not very comfortable in. And when you come in, I'm more comfortable in it, Charlie. Because you make me laugh. You're a perfect clown in that great clowns don't know when they're being funny. And that's what you are, Charlie.
Is that a compliment?
Of course, I think so.
A perfect clown.
I love it.
That's a first.
Yeah.
That's a first.
I've never not enjoyed time with Charlie.
That's so funny. We had an author on earlier this week about happy marriages, and she said the most important thing in a happy marriage is being comfortable with someone.
Yes. I've been comfortable with Charlie since I met him, and I'm not comfortable around myself.
Yeah, that's true.
We
hit it off.
I'm thinking about marriages because your wife, we hear, is a badass. She's a U.S. Navy combat.
No, Army. She would hate to hear that.
No,
that's one step worse than saying she was in the Air Force.
Yeah,
she was in the Army, first cap.
Combat medic. I'm sorry, Kate. I'm sorry, Kate. So I'm thinking she really is the powerhouse in the house.
Yeah, of course.
Are you this funny at home? What does she think about your humor?
She does. She's not a big fan.
Really?
I'm about her 34th favourite comedian, and that's with her rounding it up. So, no, I'm not. I'm as impressive to her as you would imagine I'm impressive to someone who's fought in a war.
Let's talk about what's going on in Baltimore. As you know, this morning we had the Baltimore mom, who many people was calling Mom of the Year on our show. Watch that footage. I mean, she was giving her son
the business.
The business, exactly. What do you think? You've talked about Ferguson in the past and some of the riots that we've had going on.
Yeah, I have. Sorry, what's the... Yeah.
Well, I mean, what is... When she came here and talked about... How do you make humor of a situation like that?
Well, it's complicated. So, it takes time, which is why it's not easy to do it just, on cue in a scenario like this. So, the Ferguson thing we took a week to look at, and we tried to build in the ideas of police militarisation in it as well, so you're not just picking at a local scab, you're trying to show how this is a systemic problem. And the same is true in Baltimore. That anger did not come out of nowhere. That has been, some anger and justified resentment that's been going on for a long time. So it's very easy to demonise, and it's also not accurate to demonise those.
Can we leave you with this? Stephen Colbert is coming up for us on CBS. Is that a good move for CBS? You know him.
It is a phenomenal move. There's barely a better move. You're losing a legend in Letterman, but you could not be in... it's always a gamble.
Yes.
Appointing anyone new, and with him, it is no gamble. That is as funny and as smart a man as you'll ever meet.
And he'll be himself.
He'll be amazing. He will objectively be amazing.
All right.
Well, you're amazing. Thanks.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Don't say that. No.
John Oliver.
What do you buy the royal baby?
I smell great.
What do you buy
last week tonight.
I don't care. I don't care about the royal baby. I don't care.
You're watching CBS this morning.